It's my great pleasure in our next Perspectives from the Top to interview somebody who has made a significant career change, going from group treasurer of an oil company to Church of England curate and then on to be Archbishop of Canterbury. It's my great pleasure to be talking this morning to Archbishop Justin Welby. Justin, good morning.
Good morning.
So you are in a new and I suppose challenging role. You've made this career move. When you look at the oil industry and you look at the Anglican Church, I suspect that people listening will think they're completely different situations. In terms of leading in those organisations, there must be similarities though.
Yeah, the big difference is the proportion of volunteers.
Yes.
People who are doing work in the front line, not for pay.
Yeah.
And of course in the oil industry, that's probably zero.
Not many people do that.
But, and in the Church of England, the vast majority of people, I mean, we employ directly 8,500 clergy on stipends we have in the Church of England, and we have probably another 20,000 employees, 25,000 employees, I haven't counted it up. But we have another 600,000 volunteers and then another 500,000 who participate in church. That's the big difference. The similarity is the fact that you are leading people. And also that in our modern culture, the Church of England's always worked on a basis of enormous subsidiarity and delegation. So the parish priest has huge autonomy in how she or he leads their parish. The diocesan bishop, ditto, the archdeacon, and so on. And so but in companies and organizations, actually the number of people who actually go around barking out orders is pretty limited. Yeah. Even, I know you had a background in the services, but a good friend of mine who recently retired as a Major General, he said he almost never gave an order, except absolutely. On a parade ground.
Yes.
He would say, well, having listened to everyone, I think on the whole it would be better if we did X.
Yes. And
then people, everyone understood what that meant. And so the job of inspiration rather than command and control is probably fairly similar.
And what is interesting is that evidence would suggest that actually, in terms of the modern military versus commercial organisations, there actually is more command and control in commercial organisations than there is in an organisation like the military now.
Right.
Which most people don't believe.
I think most people would be surprised by.
Yes. So in that sense, then, I'm taking that like any other organisation, the church has a strategy.
We have what we call the quinquennial goals, which roll forward each 5 years, and at the moment they're very clear. There's spiritual and numerical growth. They're reimagining how we deliver the ministry of the church, and they are the common good of society, the service of the common good. And then those are the quinquennial goals. I have my particular priorities within those, which are renewal of prayer and religious community, of reconciliation, and of witness to the Christian faith. But each bishop, each clergyman each clergy person will work their way within those quinquennial goals towards what is applicable in their own area.
So to some degree, it's effectively a mirror of the traditional commercial sort of global yet local.
It's global yet local, and of course the Anglican Communion, the Church of England, is one very small part of the Anglican Communion. The Anglican Communion is between, 60 to 80 million people in 165 countries, where you've got everything from people in the South Sudan in the middle of the most appalling civil war through to people in Manhattan and, and everything between. And so because of the huge diversity in terms of culture, language, understanding, circumstance, situation, we do operate intense devolution of authority and control.
And therefore the individual representatives at local level, I take it that you view them as leaders within their communities?
Oh, very, very much so. And it varies from country to country. I mean, I have no direct jurisdiction outside England, and frankly, precious little within England if I were ever to get stupid enough to try and do it. But yes, you trust the front line is the local church all around the world. That's where it really happens. And when you have good people in the local church leading the local church, it flourishes. It may be it flourishes with very small numbers and with great struggle. If you're in a really tough area in this country, you know, with very high levels of deprivation, flourishing looks very different to if you're in leafy suburbia somewhere.
Absolutely. So since your appointment then, have there been experiences or events that have taught you even more about leadership from your perspective? That have made you think, I never have guessed that. That's interesting.
Yes, I think that there really have. I think one of them has been the sheer power and pleasure of an organisation where you develop a really strong collegial leadership at the top of the institution, which is one of the things we're trying to work at parish level, all the way through.
But given, therefore, your commercial experience as well, would you say that actually that is one of the secrets of success? It's creating a collegiate atmosphere within a commercial or other organisation.
I think I would say that very strongly. And of course, the temptation is the shortcut of giving orders or a very imposed authority. It always takes longer to win people's hearts than to get their feet moving.
And that goes to your comments about belief. Obviously, where you are now, it's about belief. But do you think that one of the challenges that other organisations face is the fact that actually a lot of people do not believe in what the organisation is doing? It's just a job. And that's the challenge of senior management, to create belief that you're doing something other than making money.
I think that's absolutely right. And that applies in the church as well. You can demotivate people so they don't really buy into the values of the institution anyway. But that is the great management challenge. I mean, and in some industries that will be much more difficult than others. The sense of achievement that comes with bringing good results to large numbers of people, serving communities, is for the vast majority of people greater, not all, but the vast majority, greater than what they get paid at the end of the month.
Yes, because that's a legacy, and what they get paid at the end of the month isn't.
Yeah, absolutely.
Archbishop Justin, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you very much indeed.